5 seconds. The partition of India carries a lot of importance among Hindu and Muslims. It is an event which led to the division of India and resulted in creating two separate sovereign states, India and Pakistan. Before the partition, India was ruled by the British Empire. The Muslim, Hindus, and Sikhs lived together in one land. Although the partition of India took place in August 1947, the seeds of the event had already been sown in 1900 when Indian National Congress refused to represent Indian Muslims' rights and demands. During the British rule, the Hindus were a majority over the Muslim population, which caused the British leaders to prefer Hindus over Muslims on the basis of jobs, education, and business, whereas Muslims were given lower jobs and salaries as compared to Hindus. The Muslim feared being ruled by the British and the Hindus, so they decided to form a political party which would protect their rights and demands. As a result, the All India Muslim League was created in 1906, which was led by a prominent leader, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He believed that Muslims and Hindus were separate and could not live in one nation, whereas Gandhiji, the leader of the Hindu party, opposed that idea and did not want separation of India. Muslim Muhammad Ali Jinnah fought for a separate nation for the Muslims. His goal was finally achieved when the British decided to vacate India after their involvement in the World War II had crippled in and give independence to India. In August 1947, two independent states came into existence, Pakistan for the Muslims and India for the Hindus. The partition of India was the inevitable result of a subcontinent divided by the region and facing a power struggle at the end of the Raj? Or was it a chance occurrence arising from a unique set of historical circumstances? Many believe that, in fact, nobody was particularly keen of partition, yet it happened anyway. A combination of complex socio-economic realities and political complications in the wake of an intense and troubled colonial encounter provided a setting for the simultaneous rise of partition and independence amidst the final days of the British Raj. India was partitioned hastily. This caused massive problems for the Indian population. Had the Commission been more careful, partition could have been a smoother process. For example, there were instances where the border was drawn, leaving some parts of a village in India and some in Pakistan. Since he had just a month, Radcliffe saw little point in being careful to skirt villages. His border was drawn right thoroughly, thickly populated areas instead of between them. There were even instances where the dividing line passed through a single house with some rooms in one country and others in the other. Radcliffe justified such casual division with the idea that no matter what he did, people would suffer. The thinking behind this justification may never be known since Radcliffe destroyed all his papers before he left India. He departed on Independence Day itself before even the boundary awards were distributed. By his own admission, Radcliffe was heavily influenced by his lack of fitness for the Indian climate and his eagerness to depart India. The implementation was no less hasty than the process of drawing the border. On 16 August 1947 at 5 p.m., the India and Pakistani representatives were given 2 hours to study copies before the Radcliffe Award was published on the 17th. British attempts to hasten partition were caused by problems such as economic revolts and international situations. The economic situation was Britain was in debt to India at roughly 3 billion with a rise of 70 million daily. They were at this point no longer profiting from their association with India, and much of the money they needed to maintain India was being spent on improving Britain at home with the NHS, welfare states, and its industry. By offering India independence as a way to write off much of their debt while securing funds for the Labour Party plans, along with the British had suffered greatly from the Second World War and required a lot of funds to rebuild much of its mainland cities and towns.